Next, we have Lori Troller, and on deck is April McCormick.
Hi, Mayor, Council, Rachel, Aaron. I'm glad I kind of followed up here because I just want to make sure everybody realizes I'm not trying to stop 5G. None of that is going on. We're bringing broadband in. We just want to bring it in the way we can. So everyone here can make a phone call, whether right now, right here, right now, AT&T, Verizon, Singular, we can all do that. Why is that? Well, this location is covered by 19 antennas. Did a little research. And those 19 antennas are on 5 towers around town. Why isn't it one antenna? Why is it 19? Well, buildings have to be hit from all sorts of angles. Now, the antennas also have to be operating at a certain signal strength, and that's negative 85 decibels. That's also related, there's a relationship between that and the amount of exposure, emission exposures to that. So as we discussed last meeting, the 85 decibels, that's an FCC standard, but we know that the FCC standards were, they tested plastic. They're a bunch of engineers. They did what they knew to do, test it the way they knew how to test it on plastic. They're not doctors. That went out to the FDA. The FDA said, we're not FR radio frequency specialists, throw it to the National Toxicology Program. They took it, they were given $30 million in 20 years. And in that testing period, there is no doubt these things have all sorts of problems. Again, I don't discuss the health things. Anyway, I'm just saying, let's take that 85 decibels. So who's checking in Fountain Hills that all our antennas are working at 85 decibels? And the reason you want to ask this is because you're being advised to bring more towers in and to bring more radiation in. So what do we have? Turns out 5 of the 19 antennas we're sitting in right now are way over emitting. 2 of them are emitting at negative 116 decibels. 2 are emitting at a negative 111. 1 is emitting at 108, negative 108. So before we go and look at bringing antennas in, let's manage, get a hold of what we've got. So, and there is no, it's an industry that came in with 0 regulation, and we can put that in our ordinance that we look at that. Okay. So, one other thing I just want to point out. There are 2 ordinances. I don't know if you guys realize that. There's a telecommunication ordinance, and then there's this SWF ordinance. It's separate. The reason it's separate is because of everything Aaron is saying, the rules and everything that we have to apply to the towers. That's the telecommunications piece. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the broadband piece. We can bring this in under, real quick, let me go. If you write an ordinance to put towers in, you're literally writing against our standard of underground. You have to go against our underground standards to bring it in via all the towers. So thank you. Sorry, I went over.
Hello, good evening. April McCormick, Fountain Hills resident. Right now, everyone in Fountain Hills can get a 5G signal in their home because all of the cell towers in Fountain Hills have been upgraded to have 5G antennas on them. And that's just a fact. So we have 5G, and we have very good 5G service. All we've been advocating for is a restrictive ordinance to keep 5G out of our front yard 10 feet from our home and right next to our bedroom window. And that can be done. I've given you 10 pages of case law where every district court in the country has upheld a hierarchy of preferred locations, least intrusive means test, and a significant gap in coverage map proving that they don't have 5G or a signal, and they have to put it in your home and they can't find a better location than right next to your home. We've been at this for over a year at this point, and all that's been accomplished by the former council was to stonewall us, is what I'd like to say, frankly. And for Aaron to bring in the Telecom law firm to help draft any replacement ordinance is an utter slap in the face. I don't know, he said he vetted him. I'm not sure if you realized that he owns a real estate brokerage company where he's a licensed broker for the sole purpose of, if you want to sell your property that has an antenna on it, you list it with him. If you want to buy property that has an antenna on it, you list it with him. After you buy or sell, he has a antenna property management company where he'll manage the parcel that you just sold or helped you buy that exclusively has an antenna on it. If there were no antennas, this man would have two of his companies evaporate. There is such a blatant conflict of interest, I'm utterly shocked. His Twitter feed, does anyone care to look at, looks like antenna porn. I don't know how else to say it. Every single tweet is of an antenna, either next to somebody's home, on a building, on a billboard. He also does billboard leasings where he puts antennas on both sides of the billboard. I have read his ordinances from other counties and other cities, and they even include OTAR devices, over-the-air reception devices, which enable you to put a 5G transmitter on your roof. They're the most permissive, crazy things I've ever seen. I've read, honestly, over 75 municipal telecommunication ordinance in the last 3 to 4 years. We furnished you a petition with over 158 signers. And what you need to know about that is it was only one signer per household. If you used Brave browser, you couldn't sign at all. It logged your IP address and wouldn't let anyone else from your household sign it. Lori and I fielded so many complaints about how does my husband sign this. So really that number is double. Thank you.